Trump just attacks unions, says don't pay your dues, says you're all going to hell, and just spreads these complete and utter lies about the Biden administration. But on Labor Day, I don't just want to show you Donald Trump's lies. I actually want to go, as we always do when we make these comparisons, though, I want to go directly to the source. I want to speak to the general president of the Laborers International Union of North America, LIUNA, and I want to ask him. His name is Brent Booker. Let's get the facts. Let's learn about what the Biden administration is actually doing for workers, and if you are a worker, what you can be doing to take advantage of the Infrastructure Act and all of these jobs that are now available because of these various projects. So first, let me show you what Donald Trump is saying. Here, play this clip.
You're going to hell, and your bosses are leading you right down the tubes. You shouldn't pay your fees. They get these big fees from all of their workers, and it doesn't matter how bad they are, they'll endorse a Democrat, even though the Democrat's selling you down the tubes. You shouldn't pay those dues. You should not pay your dues because they're selling you to hell. You're going to be going to hell. You're not going to have any jobs. All those cars are going to be made in China, every one of them. You can forget it, Michigan. You can forget it, South Carolina. You can forget it, everybody. All of those cars are going to be made in China.
Okay, that's what Donald Trump is saying. And again, it's always this, I'm the only person who can fix it. You trust me, trust me. You've bankrupted everything your entire life. You've screwed workers your entire life. You didn't pay workers what they deserve their entire life. You stiffed people on bills. That is your legacy, no matter where you've gone. Place to place to place to place, and then you did that with our country, and then you held out this hope, Infrastructure Act, it's just coming, Infrastructure Week, and you did absolutely nothing. All right, let me bring in my interview that I did very recently with Brent Booker, General President of LIUNA, the Laborers International Union of North America. I want to get his take so we can compare. Let's bring in that interview. I'm Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network. Jobs, 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 good paying jobs, better working conditions. This, to me, is one of the, if not the most important issue as we approach the 2024 general elections. And I know there are a lot of people out there who want to confuse and distract the American people and talk about culture war issues or talk about just utterly insane things like, is the Barbie movie a communist plot? Is Mr. Potato Head too woke? This Disney film, that. In my view, that is all to distract from an agenda out there by billion-dollar interests to try to harm workers, to try to harm you. And I don't know about you, but when I was watching that GOP debate, and you can go and take a look at the hot take that I did where I covered the debate, I saw constant attack on unions, constant attack on workers, and they tried to kind of package it up in a way that was like, no, we're fighting for the workers. No, you're fighting against unions. You're therefore fighting against workers. I want to bring in one of the foremost experts to talk about jobs, jobs, jobs. Brent Booker, General President of LIUNA, Laborers International Union of North America, founded in 1903, now with over 500,000 members, on its way to 1 million members. Welcome to the show, Brent.
Dan, thanks for having me. Look forward to having a conversation.
So, where I started with this is I see unions, it's not a news story, being under attack by very wealthy interests to try to harm the worker, to try to pilfer from the worker. There's been a little bit of an adjustment in that strategy, I think, injecting more this kind of culture war nonsense. Gas stoves are being taken away, crap. Like, what do you make of the current zeitgeist right now, though, and the attack I think that workers are under?
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. There has been, a history of people attacking unions and attacking workers. And it seems like in the political season leading up to 2024, to the election next year, watching the debate the other night, hearing, 8 candidates on stage disparage their constituents, their voters, who happen to be union members, who happen to, decide early on in their career to either form a union or get a job that had already been unionized because unions are people, and people just want a living wage, a middle class lifestyle, an ability to go to work every day and to make sure that they have a health care, and at the end of their career they can retire with a decent pension. So the attacks it surprises me, honestly, every time, because I don't understand how they don't get to that they're disconnected from their voters, their constituents, who are people who live in the community and serve the community, and also, the attack was on teachers who educate their children. That's not who Americans are. That's not who we are. That's certainly not who the laborers
are. We definitely have ants in here.
Not for long.
That's not who Americans are. That's not who we are. That's certainly not who the laborers are.
So what can you do? What is LIUNA doing? What are the brother and sister organizations doing, though, to let the voters know what's really going on here? I have to tell you, when I have, a lot of politicians on, or former politicians on from certain swing states, one of the things that they say is that, despite the fact that the GOP is attacking their constituents, sometimes this culture war BS distraction stuff, works and is getting people to vote against their interests, to vote against their jobs, to vote against their wages, to vote against their working conditions. So what? So that their CEO can maybe just trickle down. If you're lucky, after they buy the sixth yacht, maybe the worker will be able to then afford half a month's mortgage. Like, if you put it to if you gave the people these issues in referendum form, hey, you want better working conditions, you want better jobs, you want to improve yourself and your family, or give the billionaire another yacht, how they'd vote. So, but they're voting against their interest a lot. So how do you win the communications war here, Brett?
Yeah, we have to meet our members where they're at. We have to go to the job sites, go to local unions, to the local meetings, to go to our memberships in the community, and talk to them and just give them the facts, right? A lot of people get their information on cable news, on social networking and things like that. And we've got to build our presence there. We've got to do more things like we're doing today, right? Talking to you, get into an audience that maybe we don't reach on a daily basis, and inform them and educate them. Look, unions approval ratings are at an all-time high. Young people want to be in a union. And we just have to talk to them. We have to communicate to them. We have to talk to our current members, and we have to talk to our future members about what being in a union family is all about, and a sense of belonging, and a sense of being there. We're putting a whole lot more emphasis on social media, and getting out there and doing short videos talking about what it's a day like being a laborer. Whether you're a construction laborer, whether you're a public employee, whether you're a mail handler, to educate and inform and show people as to what the union advantage is, what it's like being a union laborer day in and day out. We've got programs, apprenticeship readiness programs, that we're reaching out to the underserved communities, to veterans, to women, to minority communities, to say, come into our family, come into LIUNA. And we just have to talk to them day in and day out. We can't talk to them just around an election. We have to have two-way communications, and we got to talk to our members, our future members. We also have to listen to them and hear what they have to say, and then advise and come up with policies to make sure that our organizing efforts meet our members where they're at, and meet our future members where they're at, and break through the noise of cable news, and just give our members the facts. They trust us as their leaders. All of our polling shows that, and that's because we just give them the facts and talk to them about what is important to the union, to us as union leaders, and to them as union members.
LIUNA has recently